Hello everybody, this is Nabil Salam, also known as the Noble Player, and today I'm going to make a video that I was not even expecting to make at all in the first place, and that's talking about the Xbox Game Showcase that premiered last night. I just watched this show, and before I get more into this video, I first want to say, if you're a new subscriber, or let's say you're an old subscriber of mine, I want to first make it clear that the reason why I don't usually talk a lot about Xbox on this channel is because I don't actually own an Xbox in the first place. I'm not too invested into, Microsoft gaming studios necessarily. From my point of view, I don't have the biggest knowledge. I remember I was a huge fan of the Xbox 360 back in the day, but after the Xbox 360 with the Xbox One, it's just been going on a decline in my opinion. And to be completely honest, I wasn't really expecting so much out of this, showcase that I watched last night because, there was last month or a couple months ago about one of the studios, Tango Gameworks and Arcane, being shut down. That really put a bad taste in my mouth, and so I had just really low expectations when I was going to watch this Xbox Game Showcase. And I was pleasantly, honestly surprised by this. I actually liked some of the things that they were able to do. There were some things that I have some concerns about here and there, but for the most part, I think if you're an Xbox fan and you're watching this video, I think there are a lot of things I think you can take away from it that you can be very optimistic about, and things that you can actually look forward to in the future within this year and also in 2025. So actually, I want to first go through quickly over here. If I look at from Pure Xbox's website, here's everything that was revealed at the Xbox Game Showcase in 2024. So this is all essentially the entire list of all the games that they've shown. Quite a lot of games. Really, they're focusing a lot on some of the big titles that Microsoft has in terms of their own company studios or within their partner studios, i.e., Bethesda or Activision, for instance. Now, I will tell you, I'm gonna go step by step with each different announcement that's been happening. I'm not gonna go for every one of these because I'm not the most knowledgeable person out there. I would love to know, essentially, when you look at this list, for example, are there any games that you're looking forward to that maybe I've not mentioned in the first place? We're gonna go through some of the ones that stood out to me the most, and then overall, that's a good way for me to kind of overall give my opinion about the show in its own right. So if we just continue right over here at the beginning. We have first Doom, The Dark Ages, the brand new installment of the Doom franchise. I'm a big fan of the Doom series. This one, we've heard for a while that they're going to make another Doom game that takes place in the medieval era. So first, I actually want to go quickly over here. We're not gonna put any audio in this because I don't want to get any copyright for this, but I want to show you guys a glimpse quickly that I love the environments, I love the setting. It's really cool how, for example, you have your shield with you with a chainsaw, and then you still have your gun, for instance, whether it's a skull crusher or you have, for example, a shotgun or a ray gun in the first place. It looks fantastic. The bosses look great. It's very consistent to what we've seen with Doom 2016 and also Doom Eternal as well. I just love the way this whole game looks in the first place, and I do want to go quickly a little bit right over here because I thought this was really cool the way that they show the enemies. You can ride off, I believe this is a dragon. It looks fantastic. So here we go, Doom the Dark Ages, right over there. And this is a pretty cool shot. And again, yeah, so this is coming out next year in 2025. This is obviously going to come out for, Xbox and Steam and also on PS5 as well. So this is actually pretty fantastic news to hear. This adds a really good, another game for me for the list next year. We have, GTA 6. We have, for example, Monster Hunter Wilds, and also anything, in terms of the Nintendo Switch successor and some of their upcoming games, whichever would interest me. Then we have also for here, for example, we have an announcement which for the next Gears of War game, which isn't actually Gears of War 6 necessarily. This is actually going to be a prequel before the original game. I believe it's 14 years before the events of the first game. Yeah, so we have, for example, here, this is, I believe, if I'm correct, this is Max right over here. Really, this is before, taking place, during the time of the Emergence Day events with the Locust essentially taking over right over there. You can see this is entirely a cinematic cutscene right over there, so we're not going to go too much into it. But if you just continue going forward, I want to show you guys, this is Dom right over here, I believe. Again, I'm not too overly familiar with the Gears of War franchise. I remember playing a little bit of it back in the day with the original trilogy at my friend's house. But yeah, this is pretty much just an announcement trailer saying, okay, we're making a prequel before the events happen. This is essentially right over here, like this is actually more post-apocalyptic scenario right over here before the events of the original Gears of War game. Again, it's really nice to know that we are getting another Gears of War game. We're not necessarily going to follow Gears 4 and 5. We're not going to make like a follow-up within, I believe it was the Kate, to finish like a Kate trilogy, I believe. Which again, I've not played 4 and 5. So again, I might be a little bit fuzzy when it comes to that sort of thing. But I thought this was really nice to hear, and I think it will get a lot of fans, especially if you like Gears of War, very excited about this. Then we got a new trailer actually. This is for Black Ops 6. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which surprisingly we don't have Black Ops 5 for some reason. Again, I believe apologies. We can't make any, I don't want to put any audio over here. But again, as you can look over here, again, it seems to be just as consistent with the Black Ops franchise. Hopefully, in that case, again, I like the scope of this. It looks like this is showing more about the campaign itself. What's really going on. Looks very more gritty. It seems like it's going to be tackling a lot of various serious issues that will put you like right in the moment. Again, I'm hoping this is going to be something that's really special. It's kind of funny because when it comes to Call of Duty, it's like I've been kind of out of the Call of Duty franchise for so long, and every time they put out these trailers, like they look good, but then that's kind of how they hook you into buying their game, for example. And again, I'm kind of hoping to expect a lot of things when it comes to the multiplayer aspect side of things, when it comes to the campaign itself. Obviously, it looks like they've been putting a lot of effort into this. I don't know exactly who's developing this Call of Duty specifically. I'm just gonna take a look right over here. Again, we have, of course, Call of Duty with the open beta is gonna take place as well. Not sure if they give us a date on that though. It is. So the new Call of Duty game will be coming to Game Pass day 1, of course. Let me just take a look over here. Yeah, okay, so we got, for example, for the multiplayer, 12 new 6 versus 6 maps, and then 4 new strike maps at launch. And then also zombies are going to make a return. Of course, you'd want that for the Black Ops franchise, which is pretty fantastic to hear. And again, those three particularly, with the Doom game, Gears of War, and Black Ops 6, those are the ones that stood out to me the most. Really, the ones that appealed to me the most, coming from Microsoft and Xbox. I will say the things that kind of like put me still a little bit iffy a little bit is that we have obviously a new Indiana Jones game that's going to be coming out very, very soon. I'm not going to go for this whole video because this is mostly a cutscene really that kind of explains the story. I do like, the voice actor who's playing, Indiana Jones, who's going to provide the voiceover. And this could maybe be a good game. I kind of root for a good Indiana Jones content since I'm a fan of the franchise. But again, I don't love the whole idea about being a first-person perspective. Maybe I'll have to wait till I play the whole game to decide what's going to happen or how it's going to be turned out. But yeah, so of course, Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. The thing that also is a bit frustrating, and I'll see if I can get you that part as well. It shows over here, for instance, it's going to come out in 2024. So they haven't given us exactly like a release date yet for it. And I kind of hope they would. I'm assuming it's going to come out, in the winter of this year, or more likely could be by early next year in 2025. But again, we have to wait and see how that turns out. I really just want good Indiana Jones content. I mean, the last I can tell you is like the last couple of Indiana Jones films that came out. Good lord, those are pretty bad. And then we had Perfect Dark, which I've been waiting for a good Perfect Dark for a really long time. But the only thing that kind of like frustrates me a little bit, really, is that this game is going to be developed by Crystal Dynamics, which I'm kind of really concerned how that's going to turn out because I'm not a big fan of how they handled the Tomb Raider franchise. But yeah, as you can see over here, again, of course, it's going to be another first-person shooter. It seems tonally and from a atmosphere standpoint, it looks a lot different, a lot more modern and futuristic. I don't know how I really feel about that compared to like the grimy and very dark nature of, like, in my opinion, the Nintendo 64 game, because that's the only one that I have been really familiar with in terms of, like, Joanna Dark. But again, there's a lot that still has to be seen because the gameplay does look kind of smooth and it looks very crisp in its own right. I do like the way that it does look for the most part. And it all really comes down to how it really feels, how it really plays, and how they handle, the story going ahead with this. I kind of wish though that, again, like, instead of Crystal Dynamics, I wish it could have been someone from Rare who could be making this game instead. But like I said, things are gonna, it depends how things are gonna really turn out for this game. As we can see over here, let me just check. Yeah, so they haven't given us at least a proper release date or a year when it comes out, but at least we do know that it's coming, which is nice to know that there's another Perfect Dark game. Depends how that turns out. And then the one that kind of disappointed me a little bit was Fable, which it's so funny because this game is getting almost massively ratioed. And I kind of want to get into that a little bit because my biggest problem with the trailer with Fable, I'm not going to get too much into it, so let me just get over here. Okay, so mostly we see a lot of cutscenes, for example, taking over this trailer. And again, we don't see a lot of gameplay for it. A lot of people, we have our character right over here, our protagonist, who looks like they're just going to walk around from one place to another in this open environment. It's funny because if we go to that character, let me see if I can get you back to that character. It's funny because I know a lot of people who I'm so sorry guys, let me just get it. It's so funny because I remember when they first showed the first look into it, the character design looked really awful and bad. I would say this is like slight improvement, but again, I kind of wish that I'm hoping that there's gonna be like a character creation for this. I hope it's not reducing this one character. In my opinion, that's kind of one of the cool things, in Fable is how you create your own character and how you interact, with other people in this environment. And again, I liked the original Fable back in the day. I don't remember too much about it. I'm not too fond with the Fable franchise, but I kind of want this to be good. This is obviously going to be taken over by Playground Games, this is their first time tackling a Fable game. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. Visually, it looks very nice overall. Instead of like minus the character designs, I do like the backgrounds. I do like some of the designs of each location here and there. It could be a really good game. I'm hoping it is in the first place. We're just kind of we're just gonna go over here. So yeah, that's essentially gonna be Fable right over there, and we're hearing here that it's gonna come out actually in 2025 next year. So that's gonna be very interesting as one of Xbox's or Microsoft's flagship titles. I really hope this turns out to be a really good game. I at least hope it will be. And hope it doesn't feel as limited as, within the previous 3 titles in the first place. But that's kind of what I go over with this actually. So I did actually enjoy the presentation overall for the fact that Microsoft and Xbox are trying to capitalize off of the big name titles, for instance, and some of the big, companies that they have been acquiring here and there. It does give a little bit of optimism and interest. I will say this is significantly better and shockingly better than something like, the Summer Games Fest, which had barely nothing in my opinion beyond Monster Hunter Wilds being crossplay and Sonic X Shadow Generations, and then the State of Play, which was also granted, the State of Play wasn't meant to be anything huge, but a lot of their titles, except for like Astrobot, really, for example, was the only thing that was interesting there. At least there's some compelling titles that at least I'm intrigued by, or I'm at least excited about. Specifically, I'm really excited about the Doom game. I can't wait for that one to come out. But that's kind of what I want to get through over here. I want to know what you guys think of the showcase overall. Did you guys like the presentation overall? What games are you looking forward to? What games kind of make you cautious about it? Really, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys like more videos like this, talking about movies, video games, talking about live streams, reactions, hope you guys can like this video. Hope you guys can subscribe to the channel as well. I really would appreciate that. There's a lot of, video ideas that I'm coming up with as soon as possible. And until then, I hope I see you guys in the next video.